All right, so we're here with Bastille at Rock in Rio in Lisbon, confusingly, not in Rio. So to start off with, Rock in Rio is kind of a name to conjure with. It's kind of a legendary festival, certainly the Rio iteration of it. What were you expecting from it today? Don't all talk at once, come on.
Dramatic pause.
Like, looking back through the lineups, they're always kind of ridiculously impressive. The first one here was Queen, Whitesnake, and someone else.
Yeah.
Ridiculously huge.
And you're up against very much the queen of our day, Muse.
We are
today.
Yeah.
Is that sort of
by up against? You mean playing before?
Playing before? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want to take them on stage, you know.
No, I'm alright. Yeah. I was contemplating. There's a zip wire that goes.
There is. Are you going to do that?
Yeah. Well, we've just been, since we got here, we've been trying to figure out if I could zip line into our gig or like during our gig.
That might require you sort of jumping off the zip line. I don't know if it'd have insurance.
Basically, we talk through it. It's doable, but either way, we'll take a good 10 to 15 minute pause out of our gig, which for some people might be a nice thing.
Also,
but for others, I don't know.
Also, risk it going very, very Boris Johnson, and no one wants that.
No one in the fucking.
I mean, I kind of do want that. That would be good. I think.
I'm just imagining myself sort of like hanging by one foot, doing the entire gig upside down in front of a crowd.
Is it? Are you kind of nervous about going on before Muse? They're famously kind of kings of the big festival show.
We supported them for a tour, so
right.
I guess we're kind of quite well practiced in doing that.
So the answer to that question is absolutely not. Then, isn't it? Really?
No, well, I think when you're going on before Muse, you're like nothing we do will ever compete. So I guess.
And Woody runs their fan club, so he's very intimately.
Will's little funny joke.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't do it as much now because we're a bit busy. But
Yeah. Too much. You not got a lot of time for stuff in jiffy bags and all that sort of stuff. Like, yeah.
I'll show you after. I've got a full like his face on my chest, Alan Partridge style,
And the other two members on each arse cheek.
Yeah. the detailing's amazing.
So I just wanted to make sure your
Poor
laugh was on.
old Dom.
It's good.
It's a Glastonbury weekend, or would be. Are you sort of jonesing for Glastonbury? Has it crossed your mind that we should be there and we're not?
It is painful for it not to have happened. I went to Primavera as a sort of substitute a couple of weeks ago, so that was quite nice.
Oh yeah.
But that's just a really boring answer that's quite factual about my life that no one gives a fuck about. Are you, Kyle, as a regular Glastonbury goer, are you sad that it wasn't on this year?
It was difficult. It was difficult for me to not try and figure out a way to keep going to Glastonbury without paying.
Right. Yeah.
Is it back next year or the year after? Where?
Oh, next year. Yeah.
And is it? And always it's moving or it isn't moving or someone's renaming it or someone's I don't know.
Not moving. No. Are you going to be headlining next year? Do you think?
Me, yeah. Me solo project.
Do a sort of a Corbyn? Just
yeah. Straight up, just me. Yeah. I'm not sure about these guys. Yeah.
Great. So Dan, you have shaved your head for a video, and you're going to. We just heard. I
did it anyway.
You did it anyway.
People get haircuts.
They do get.
When did you last get a haircut?
Well, we're not talking about me, but thanks for noting it's grown out a little bit, hasn't it?
It has grown out a bit.
It's pretty neat. Yeah.
You're gonna grow it fully out to plait.
yeah. How is this? Are you missing the quiff? It was quite an iconic haircut. People ask about an iconic haircut. Ask James Bay. He answers questions on nothing else.
What's his response?
Stop asking me about my fucking haircut.
It's nice when you put the answer in the question. I used to have a shaved head, then I didn't, and now I do again.
Do you feel slightly harder since you...
potentially look like a bit of a thug, and then I open my mouth and people are like, oh, he's definitely no threat from that man. Yeah. I get some breeze on my head now. It's a wonderful change.
That's why I was sort of jealous.
Asking.
Yeah, I was thinking it's hot here. It'd be quite nice to have a bit of breeze through there.
I envy him. It's like wearing a small dog on your head.
But who's going to get the shampoo sponsorship deal?
Definitely Woody.
Exactly.
This speaks for itself.
Music will like it behind, we can move on.
So you've been sort of teasing the new album. It's done. You've not said when it's out. It's probably just time to tell us, is it?
Yeah. We genuinely still don't know.
No, as in, like,
I'm doing that emoji.
They won't tell him because he will blurt it out, so he doesn't know he's in the dark. So it'll be a surprise for you and for him when it happens.
So the 1975 have a new album coming out this year. It strikes me you could go head to head with them, do a sort of update on Blur versus Oasis, give us something to write about.
I text him. We're not clashing. I'm very sure.
Is that true?
Come on.
No, I did. I showed you the message.
Oh, there's Woody with the mythos again. Just the mythos and the hype.
Logistics.
Tell us,
Yeah.
in that case, tell us one thing we don't know about the record from other interviews.
Oh God. This is dangerous because I'll just talk all about it. We did a gig the other night where we were asked to sort of speak quite a bit in between the songs about what they're about and the origins of them, the thought process behind them, and I just ended up saying a whole load of shit that I wasn't supposed to say in public. Anyway, one thing we don't know
Answer
about
the question.
We're really excited about it. I like that's the worst. That's the lamest thing in the world. Yeah. One thing we don't know. In my mind, it's pretty different.
It's a lot more concise than the last one.
Yeah. It's this sort of, it's a kind of semi-concept album set over from midnight until the early hours, or the late hours, or whatever you want to call them.
Do you subscribe to the nothing good happens after 3 a.m. rule?
Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will use that when they're talking about our album. that's the kind of like, you know, that's a free pass there.
It's a B-side about ending up in the Marathon Kebab shop at the end.
Yeah.
That's about 6 a.m.
We wanted to make an album that was sort of like euphoric and felt like a kind of 90s, very, very slightly 90s looking, like euphoric party album, but in a sort of scuzzy British way, that kind of acknowledges that we still live in the same world as when we made our last record, if not a slightly more bizarre one. But how it's, you know, it's not necessarily healthy for the mind to constantly to engage with it too much. You know, there's, I guess it's important to not to avoid it, but like, so it's a record about escapism, and it's about it's definitely like way more personal and inward looking. Yeah, I'm like, we just want to get it out.
There's all comments that have never been said before ever, so it's completely exclusive.
Trying to think of something. There's a song called Midnight, and there's a song called 4 a.m.
There we are.
So there we go.
There we are.
Yeah.
What happens at 4 a.m.? Wait and see.
What happens at 4 a.m. with you? Fast asleep.
Yeah.
Right. Or you're getting on a plane to come to Lisbon.
Exactly. That was last night.
Right.
Are you playing anything new tonight? And in forthcoming live shows this summer?
We will be playing our new single tonight.
Okay.
And yeah, we're going to start introducing new tracks. The thing is, it's quite a short album, and I guess we just want to up our output in terms of speed, but like more concise records, more regularly than 3.5 year gaps. But I also, I know it's maybe quite lame, but I'm a real subscriber to well, as a fan of other bands and other artists, I love when you get a record and you can, you know, you can digest like a proper chunk of it in one go, and that's really exciting. And I think on the last album we maybe learned that playing them all live before the album came out slightly takes that away.
Yeah, you can sort of YouTube the whole thing.
Exactly, yeah, you can hear like worse versions on YouTube.
I quite like that. Before our last album, someone caught us basically just dicking around with a song, was it Power or something, of the last album, where we did it in some stupid lounge jazz version just for a laugh, and then that got on YouTube and everyone thought we'd gone lounge jazz for a little bit. Which,
That's album 4.
yes, I'll give it away.
Very quickly to sort of finish up, you mentioned last time that there was more mixtapes coming, but where are they?
Yeah. Yeah, there is a mixtape. There is a
You
mixtape.
just keep it to yourself? Or?
Yeah.
That's called a
I
Spotify playlist, isn't it?
It was really great as well, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of music knocking about. Yeah, I've been working on a couple of albums and this mixtape, and
So you're going to do a Kanye and put out 4 sort of increasingly disappointing albums in a row?
no, because at least with Kanye, people cared about the first one. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, yeah, it's you know, I guess the way people release music and the way people listen to it is changed and is changing constantly. I know that's like the most boringly obvious, overused little phrase ever, but yeah, we obviously want to get the music out as quickly as possible. We're sitting on a lot of stuff and constantly making new stuff as well, but Yeah, I
Before
guess
that, a
just-
summer of festivals, is it? What's the big event that you're looking forward to on the calendar this year?
I've got a homecoming show end of July in Plymouth Hoe. Ocean City Sounds. Hopefully going to get, if not the keys to the city, get crowned as King of Plymouth that night.
It will happen.
Yeah.
What
And
do you
then,
get as King of Plymouth?
I get to add HRH to the front of my name.
We're pretty excited about this. This is our first sort of major festival slot. Getting to play between Haim and Muse is it's pretty awesome.
Great.
And we're very excited. Excited to go and see Haim play in a minute as well.
Well, I'll not hold you up any longer then. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers,
Much
dude.
appreciated.
Thanks so much.